In ancient Judea, just like in many Jewish homes today, in the first 7 days of a baby boy's birth, they are circumcised in keeping with the traditional theological thought that circumcision was the sign of the covenant Abraham made with Jehovah. In essence belief, however, this covenant was not sealed with circumcision. Menahem saw the circumcision as a spiritual one, not physical. One circumcised their heart to God, joining themselves to him and his Torah and his people Israel. Mary and Joseph believed this, and so, going against the common practice, did not circumcise Jesus, nor did they go to the temple in Jerusalem to offer a sacrifice. The Essenes opposed animal sacrifice on moral grounds, seeing it as foolish that a good God would accept the blood of innocent animals for people Essenes. And as Nazareth was an Essene community, they supported their decisions. Mary and Joseph's royal status gave them a slightly higher position in the village, but it never gave them the special rights they enjoyed in Jerusalem. Both worked alongside fellow Nazarenes, doing jobs such as fetching water, building fences for livestock, and farming. Menahem, now in his 90s, visited as often as he could to see his great-grandson and granddaughter. As Jesus grew older, it became evident that what the archangel said was true. He was chosen by Jehovah and his wife Asherah to be a prophet. As a child, around 5 years old, Jesus was playing with his brother James out on Nazareth's streets when he stopped suddenly, bent down, and began forming birds from the mud beneath his feet. James watched in astonishment as his older brother made 3 birds and commanded them to come to life. Instantly they began chirping and moving, flying away soon after. In another incident a few years later, Jesus healed a neighbor who sliced his foot open on an axe while cutting wood, and resurrected another who had died from a fall off his roof while repairing it. What Jesus himself thought growing up with his gift is unknown, but his parents, great-grandfather, and neighbors all did their best to caution him to use it for the good of others, not for personal gain. And thankfully it sank in. The boy always making sure to use what power he'd been given to help rather than harm others. At 5, just like his mother before him, Jesus began his education. Menahem, too elderly now to teach, did not instruct his great-grandson. Instead, it was Mary herself that taught Jesus and his siblings how to read and write, in Aramaic, Hebrew, Latin, and Greek. By 15, in 1180, Jesus was a well-spoken, handsome young man, his black hair already beginning to grow long and facial hair just beginning to form. It is unknown if he ventured out of Judea before his 15th year, but shortly after his 15th birthday, his uncle Joseph of Arimathea came to visit and offered to take his nephew with him on his next trip to Britain to check on his tin mines in the kingdom of Cornwall. Britain, at this time ruled by King Tu, had several Jewish settlements along the Cornish coast, and the British themselves were partially descended from Israelites who went west after the Assyrian conquests, and even before, when Brutus of Troy, who had many Israelite families among his followers, settled on the island and named it Britain after himself. The Jews mined the tin, and many, including Mary's brother, made a good fortune by doing so. But unlike other Jewish merchants, Joseph of Arimathea forged friendships with local British chieftains, and even the British king himself. Tenuin's grandmother, Anna, was a Jew and a cousin to Mary and her brother, her father being related to their father Simon. This connection gave Joseph access to the British royal court that others did not have, and he used this to his advantage, not only spreading the Essene message to the British Isles, but also learning from the British spiritual traditions as well. There is no doubt Jesus knew of this connection and about his uncle's learning with the Druids. He loved to learn, and quickly grasped at the invitation, eagerly wanting to go and soak up as much knowledge as he could.